Om. Om. Om Shri Ganeshaya Namaha. Om Shri Saraswatyai Namaha. Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Om Samasta Jana Kalyane Niratam Karunamayam. Namami Chinmayam Devam Sadgurum Brahmavidvaram. Sadgurum Brahmavidvaram. Om Sada Shivasamarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutrabhashya Krutau Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punah Srutismriti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavad Pada Shankaram Lokashankaram. Namaste Shankarananda Guru Padambu Janmane Savila Samaha Moha Graha Grasaika Karmane. Hari Om. In the series of discussions on Upasana and Jnanam, and how Upasana can be continued throughout the day. Meditation can be continued throughout the day. Right? So like Bhunjanopi Rijarabdham Astita Ashayato Anisham Dhyatum Shaktaha Astaha Atishayataha Anisham in 83rd verse, which we already completed. So Bhagavan says here, Vijayaramana says, while one is going through various prarabdha karmas, when there is a conviction in oneself about the self, that self is everything, and is able to continue his practice of meditation all the time. Dhyatu anisham dhyatum shaktaha na sandehaha vishaya vyasani yatha. Then there is no doubt about it. Just as a worldly man attached to one particular thing, he is able to think about it 24 hours. Like example is given, Paravyasanani Nari, a woman devoted to somebody else, other man, or any other person we can take. Extremely attached to one person. But Gruha Karmani Vyagrapi, even though it's engaged in household activities, Tadeva Swadayanti Atyantaha Parasanga Rasayanam. So, even though she is engaged in all kinds of household duties, her mind is always on her own other person. She is continuously thinking of that person because of attachment. And body continues to perform all the duties at home. Similarly, Upasana can be done. That's what he says in 85th verse. Let us see now. Parasangam swadayantya apino gruha karmatat kuntri bhaveda pitvetad apate naiva vartate. So Parasangam swadayantya. Swadayantya, while experiencing, by remembering, that by experiencing, Swadayant, by memory, by remembering and recalling that person, she is enjoying. Parasangam Swadayantyapi no na gruha karma tat kunti bhaved. Gruha karma is there, no? All the household activities, they don't kunti bhaved, they don't become any problem. They don't have, the duties are not stopped. They are not disturbed. Kunti na bhavet. Tu etad apatenaiva vartate. So therefore what? All these things, they don't stop. All the activities do not stop. And however, apatenaiva. Apatena means not with full joy of doing. Mechanically. Apatena means not of full joy of in doing, but mechanically that lady is doing that activity. Mechanically, she is doing everything without any problem. But her mind is thinking about that person. Let us see, read this 86th verse also. Gruhokritya vyasanani yatha samyak karoti tat paravyasanini tadvat nakarotyeva sarvatha. So the woman, what is that now? She is able to, as a sincerely devoted woman, gruha kritya vyasanini yatha. She is very, very particular, fully devoted to her household activities. She does samyak karoti tat yatha, and all the household work she does perfectly. With great inspiration, she does. No doubt about it. Other contrary. So therefore, here Vijayamuni says what? See, Gruhakritya Vyasanani yatha samyak karoti tat paravyasanani. So, one who is devoted to household activities perfectly, not paravyasanani, not like other woman who is devoted to other man or other person, while doing activities, she does mechanically. But a sincere other person, other woman is there, she is not devoted to anybody. So she is extremely sincere to her own activities. So devoted to her own household, she does the work with great inspiration. So she is not attached to anybody. She does work with great inspiration. Perfection is brought in. Tadvat paravyasanani na karoti eva sarvatha. Like that lady who is devoted only to household activities without having any attachment to any other person. Like in a previous sloka, this person is able to do, but paravyasanani is there, no? The other lady who is able to, who is thinking about other man cannot do with the same perfection and joy. So here in what Vidyaranya Muni is saying, that it is possible to entertain Brahma Vritti on one side, and also is possible to continue the worldly activities. That is the important point here. That Aham Brahmasmi Vritti, I can continue, remember that, and very beautiful thoughts will come now. That means what? In the mind, continuous Namasmarana, continuous Namasmarana is Saguna Brahma Upasana, or continuous Nirguna Brahma Upasana is Aham Brahmasmi, or thinking about Brahman. So at subconscious level, these things will continue. And superficially, at conscious level, all the activities are going on. Bhagavan Krishna said, no, tasmat sarveshu kaleshu mam anusmara yudhyacha. So you can remember me, Arjuna, all the time, and you can do your own worldly activities. So therefore, for this lady, that graha karma, she is doing all activities, and they are not obstructed. All things, all duties are very well attended to. But she is mechanically attending to all of them. They don't come from the heart. Mind is elsewhere. Similarly, a very great Mahatma gave a very beautiful example. This is not a negative example, it's a positive example. Meaning what? You can think about Brahman and continue the activities in the world without any problem, without losing a grip. See, another example was given by a great Mahatma. He said, while driving the car, You give that example. While driving the car, see, your two legs have to work, two hands are there, and sometimes you have to change the gear. And you also use the recorder there, which is fixed in the car. Sometimes you use the knobs, or sometimes use the knobs with your thumb on the steering. You will see here and there also. You will talk also. Sometimes you listen to bhajan also, or lectures also while driving. But driving is perfectly going on because you are not making any mistake. Traffic is there, opposite traffic is there. One is driving so perfectly. But all the time is enjoying and listening to talk or singing bhajans also, or talking also. Then that master said, that means what? To do the driving, full mind, 100% mind, please understand, don't misunderstand my statement here. 100% awareness of the mind is not required. To do that job, a little part of awareness of mind is necessary, and rest of the mind is able to work at multi-level. Suppose if I have to give 100% totally to the mind to driving only, nobody can drive properly. So I have got relaxation. I am driving. I am also seeing here and there. I am noticing. Sometimes I read the boards. So that master said, only part of the mind, little bit of mind is enough. You keep it there in driving, and that will take care of perfectly. But if you withdraw that mind, accident will take place. So limited participation of the mind is enough in driving, he said, and rest of the time is free. Similarly, that master said that, to do entire loka vyavahara, a small quantity of percentage of mind is enough, and more major portion of the mind can be engaged in contemplation or thinking or nirguna brahma upasana. That's what a saguna brahma upasana. Vijayaraman says same thing. Mechanically you are doing. Mechanically you are doing means what? But heart is somewhere. But actions are all going on. There's no problem in the activities. So Upasaka, see, remember, Upasaka has to maintain that Aham Brahmasmi Vritti consciously with effort, which is able to do, because a part of the mind awareness is enough to do everyday, daily course, daily duties. But Upasana is constantly putting his efforts in thinking about Brahman, etc. Or Brahman and then Saguna Brahma or Nirguna Upasaka, whatever it is. But in the case of a Jnani, because Jnani means what? Nirguna Brahma Jnanam he got. Jnanam he got means he awakened. What is that? I am Brahmasmi. Aham Brahmasmi, he realized it. So he need not maintain Aham Brahmasmi Vritti. Because he got that Jnana Vritti, already he got Jnanam. So once he got the Jnanam, very important point, once he got the knowledge, he need not repeat it. Like Upasaka. Like I am man, I am man, I am man, need not be repeated. Why? I know that I am man. In the example I gave 2-3 days before, a patient who forgot himself to be that he is a man, he was told to repeat, recall himself again and again, do japa that I am man, I am man. And that will help him in gaining that knowledge that I am man. Once he got that knowledge that I am man, he need not repeat it. So this is the difference between Jnani and Upasaka. Upasaka has to do this Upasana continuously till he gets that Jnanam. So this is a basic difference between what? Jnani and Upasaka. And similarly, Upasaka is not fully mindful in his Vyavahara because he is also practicing. Little mind is keeping it, more major mind is keeping it in chanting or thinking about Brahman. In the case of a jnani, he need not use that extra mind, major portion of the mind in thinking japa. So jnani is fully involved in activities with full awareness. Total mind is available for a jnani. That's what, great masters, when they are listening to us, they listen to us totally. They are with us. They are wholly present, fully present with us. When I talk to a guru, a mahatma, a puja gurudev, suppose gurudev listens to me, listening to me when I was talking, he is fully listening to it. And I pray to guru also, guru is fully giving his attention to me, 100%, totally. At that time he was with me. That's it. So a upasaka, not fully aware, mechanically he is doing, but is important, he is remembering. That can be done. Vidyaranyamani says, for Nirguna Brahma Upasaka, this is possible to do. So don't complain that you cannot meditate. For Jnani, this is not necessary also. This repetition of thought also is not necessary. So these two examples. So Parasangam Swadayantyapi no grahakapat kanti bhavetapi. Apitu etad apatenaiva vartate. And then other one, grahakrutyavasanani yata samyak karoti tat paravyasanani tadvarna karoti. So here very important. The one lady is attached to graha activities. Perfectly she does. She is not having any other attachment towards any other person. But somebody, other lady who is attached to some other person, she is not completely available there. 100% she is not doing it. Mechanically, actions are completed, but a full mind is not there. In the case of Jnani, full mind is present. So therefore, this is a great practice that wherever we are, Gurudev says, the message is what? Keep your mind where your hands are. That is a Jnani Lakshana. But Upasaka, mind is disturbed. I can't be in the present also. I am doing it, but work is going on. But then mind is wandering here and there, maximum of mind, major portion of the mind. So how do I restrict, how do I discipline that mind? So I must initiate subconscious activity called repetition of name of the Lord, or thinking about the nature of Brahman, or doing reflection upon the classes what we have studied. Vedanta, Shravana, Manana can be done, having heard from a teacher some portion. So these two examples, one is Gruhavyasanani, one is attached only to the home affairs. She does perfectly job, like a Jnani, she is involved completely. But Upasaka, like other women, she can do all the activities mechanically. There is no problem. Na kunti bhavet. There is no problem there. They are not disturbed. But major portion of the mind is dedicated to Brahma Chintan. So that means Upasana is possible doing Vyavahara also. The big question people ask, can I meditate? So you can. You can think about Brahman by Abhyasa, by practice. So remember. So therefore this example, driving example I gave, and Vidyaranyamani's household example of a woman also he gave. Okay. So now, therefore, he is coming to the comparison of Upasaka and man of knowledge. What is that now? He continues in 87th verse. Evam dhyanaika nishtopi lesha lokikamacharet tattvavitva virodhitvat laukikam samyagacharet. So evam, thus, in the same way, Dhyanaika nishtaha api. A man who is single-pointedly engaged in meditation only. Dhyanaika nishtaha api, even that, leshat laukikam arabhe. O seeker who is engaged in the practice of meditation, upasaka, what is that? He can do all leshat laukikam acharet, with half participation, with small participation, he can do all worldly activities and worldly duties he can perform with half-hearted participation. Think. Leshat. We can also say indifferently. Leshat laukikam acharet. She is there. Activities are going on. That much. So more than unnecessarily that sadhaka feels, upasaka feels, why should I disturb the total mind? So I want to do sadhana, more sadhana. So let the mind can, whatever attention is required, so therefore due attention to the world is given. Tattvavittu avirodhitvat laukikam samyak acharet. And in the case of man of realization, remember, avirodhitvat. So he performs all, man of realization performs all the duties perfectly, he is totally involved in it. Whatever in Vyavahara is totally present. Why? He is 100% being present in the worldly activities, do not oppose his divine nature or divine knowledge. It is not contradicting. हमने जो ज्ञान प्राप्त किया कि अहम ब्रह्मास्मि का ज्ञान जो हुआ, ज्ञानी के लिए वो अपने व्यवहार में 100% अपना मन को लगाकर काम करते हैं. 100% अपना मन लगाकर काम करता है. कौन? ज्ञानी. भैया आप 100% आप लगातार दुनिया में, संसार में काम कर रहे हो, इसका मतलब तो आपका ब्रह्म भाव से हट गया होगा? नहीं, क्योंकि ज्ञान इज नॉट अपोज्ड. मैंने जो ज्ञान प्राप्त किया वो कभी नहीं जाएगा. उपासका के लिए ज्ञान प्राप्त नहीं हुआ, साधक है, इसीलिए वो डरता है कि मैं पूर्ण रूप से हर काम में अपना मन को लगा दूं तो फिर मैं भगवान को भूल जाता हूं. ऐसा ना होने दे. फिर क्या करें? तो भैया काम तो करूंगा, मेरा मन तो ईश्वर के ऊपर, ब्रह्म के ऊपर रखूंगा, चिंतन करता रहूंगा. So upasaka, what is does? He has to maintain the thought that aham brahmasmi, vritti. You should maintain it. And that thought subdues other samsari thought. I am samsari, I am really, the alpa jivi, etc., etc. Other thoughts, they are really suppressed. They are subdued. They are not allowed to rise and occupy the mental area, because aham brahmasmi is consciously generated by upasaka, so that he can keep other thoughts at low bay, in the low level. He doesn't, because when his fear is what? When he stops upasana, other thoughts will rise and overtake him. Think. Like a Mahatma gave a beautiful example. It's like, perfume. Perfume. So what? Whenever the perfume effect is coming down, again I choose perfume to maintain that. Similarly, this Akhanda Brahma Akara Vritti, when I'm trying to practice it, or when I'm not, I'm trying to practice Nirguna Brahma Upasana, I must continuously generate those thoughts. Whenever again mind is coming down and getting trapped into the Vyavahara Samsara, immediately again I should be aware of the Brahman. Again start thinking that about the Vritti, repeated background, subconsciously. So Upasaka has to be in the sadhana kshetra, jnana Kshetra or Vedantic thoughts are there. No, in that field only he wanted to be there always. Tattvavittu, on the contrary, what about Tattvavit, the man of knowledge? Avirodhitvat. Laukikam avirodhitvat. The worldly activities are not contrary to his knowledge. Think. Example I'll give you. A simple example I'll give you. Suppose a man acting as a woman in a movie. Right? Quite contrary, you know, being a woman. Man is different biologically, woman is different. So he is an actor. So he was given entire, some of the movies are there. A man played a role for major portion of the movie as a lady only in one movie. Completely makeup, as looks like a woman only. So that person involved wearing a woman dress, completely makeup as a woman, and involved in entire movie, acting as a woman. So acting as a woman, fully involved in the role as a woman, does that contradict his knowledge that I am a man? So I am a man, knowledge is not challenged, not contradicted by his involvement in a role as a woman. Similarly, a jnani, tattvavittu, avirodhitva, because his involvement in the worldly activities is not at all a contradiction to his wisdom. He knew that I am Brahman. He got that jnana vritti. Samyak acharet laukikam. And therefore, he is not bothered. He can perform, he can fully involve in all worldly activities. Better than an ordinary man. Ignorant man anyhow is not able to do perfectly any work because his mind is always disturbed. Upasaka is doing it mechanically, but heart is somewhere else. He is also scared. If I totally involve myself with my heart, I may get caught up in samsara. So I must be very careful, guard myself, Upasaka, to be very careful. A man of realization. Such is the nature of Mahatmas. Jivan Mukta Purushas, when they move in the world outside, like our Pujya Gurudev, totally involved in everything, in every activity. It is not contradicting his wisdom, his experience as I am Brahman. One incident happened, I'll just share with you, as I remembered suddenly, with Pujya Gurudev. I heard it, I don't know, I heard it. So, kya hua? Pujya Gurudev went to a bhiksha. Bhiksha means lunch. Lunch bhiksha, dinner bhiksha, whatever it is, to one house. And the local, at that time, brahmachari was there. Some brahmachari, I don't know, I just heard. The name also I did not hear. Who is that and all? So the brahmachari was there, local center mein. So brahmachari also accompanied Pujya Gurudev for lunch. And that food Amma served, that host served Pujya Gurudev food. So after eating, while eating food, Gurudev said, what is this tasteless food? No, the required quantity of salt is not there. Whatever ingredients have to be put properly, salt, etc. is not given. There is no taste in the food, he said. Then that lady said, it seems, Gurudev, we have cooked only sattvic ahar. No chili, no salt, very. So naturally that salt is not there, so tasty nahi hota hai theek se. So Gurudev said, she said, brahmachari told, that Swamiji, even Sattvic Ahar is important. So we cooked like that. Sattvic Ahar. Gurudev said that is for Brahmachari and not for me. So Brahmachari has to do that sadhana, not for Gurudev. No, he is awakened to the truth. You can fully involve in all world. I remember only Gurudev only when I'm studying these verses. So therefore, samyak laukikam samyak achare. Therefore, who is actually a better performer in the world? A man of realization is a better performer in the world compared to Upasaka or an ignorant man. Ignorant man anyhow cannot do it, as I said earlier, because of the disturbed mind. Upasaka, he will do mechanically, not fully with full heart, because he is scared that his involvement in the world may make him forget the Brahman, Upasana. So I am originally a man, an actor, and a woman acting as a woman is only a temporary mithya, it is not real. So that unreal action, unreal role cannot disturb me the real. So that the role that I am playing as an actor, that the role cannot disturb me, the real me. That's what Vijayarmani says here. Therefore, you don't have to worry. A man of realization involves in the worldly activities, fully is present, but because it is not contradicting his knowledge. Jnanam. Jnanam is not contradicted. So next sloka we will see. Very beautiful sloka is there. Mayamaya prapanchoyam atma chaitanya rupadrik iti bhode virodhako laukika vyavaharinaha. Mayamaya prapanchoyam ayam atma chaitanya rupadrik. The world is what? Expression of Maya. Expression of Maya. And what about me? I am that pure consciousness. So everything is Maya Mayam, appearance only, it is not real. Prapancha, all this entire world which is made up of Pancha Mahabhutas, and what is Atma? Atma Chaitanya Rupadrik. And Atma is what? Pure consciousness. So how can Mithya Jagat disturb the original I? I am the real. What is Atma Tattva? Atma Tattva is what? Trikala Abhadita Vastu. It is always there. I am always there. So I can never feel my absence anytime, whether our body is there or body is not there. My mind is changing, but I am not changing. The changeless entity is what is illumining the change. And what is Prapancham? Continuously changing. Therefore, it is Mithya, Epirikshana, Pratikshana Vidvam Samanam. So, iti bhode, when once I understand this jnana took place that I am Chaitanyam and Prapancham is Mithya. And where is Virodha? Laukika Vyavaharinaha. How can this knowledge is there, no? How can this contradict the worldly duties? So for me, knowledge is what? Jnanam is what? A fact. A fact is that Aham Brahmasmi, full stop. And I don't have to entertain a thought. Please remember, Upasaka has to entertain continuously a thought that I am Brahman, I am not samsari. This he has to do meditation. Because Jnanam he has not yet got. Realization he has not yet got. So there is a struggle on the part of Upasaka in repeating the name, the Aham Brahmasmi, Vritti, Avritti, Vritti, repeat, Avritti, repetition. Thought is Vritti. So Vritti, Avritti means thought repetition. In the case of Jnani, he did not entertain any such thought. He knew that I am Brahman, full stop. Just like, I am man. Do I need to entertain the thought, I am man, not to forget that I am man? If I forget I am man, problem. So I must repeat all the time, I am man, I am man, I am man. No. If somebody asks me suddenly, who are you, man or woman? I can definitely say I am man. I don't have any doubt that sloka will come later on. The knowledge can be recalled at any time. It will never go. You don't have to repeat it again and again with the thought. So therefore, how can this, when knowledge is eternal, my involvement in the worldly mithya actually, how can these two contradict? Bhaiya, the substratum is a desert, sand is there. On that, water is. So how does it matter to the desert? Desert is desert. The waves may appear when the heat is more, say some kind of a lake or water is appearing, seen but not real. So it doesn't become, that does not make the dry sand wet, no. So it is not contradicting, no. It is there always. Not affected by this play. So my consciousness doesn't go anywhere. Jnanam doesn't go anywhere. This is very, very clear. Vijayamuni is telling that there is no problem. This is a upasana and jnanam difference. We get tremendous clarity. We all should meditate. Meditate what? As Nirguna Brahma Upasana. If you are meditating on Nirguna Brahma, as we already seen, Vidheya Gunas, Nisheda Gunas, I think about Brahman alone, affirmating the qualities, negating qualities of Brahman. But Brahman is untouched by all of them because all these qualities are only, we already seen, from the standpoint of Vyavahara only. In Brahman, you cannot call, from the standpoint of Brahman, Brahman is neither Sat nor Chit nor Ananda. It is Brahma is there. That Satchidananda is from our point of view. Brahman is what? Anirvachaniyam, full stop. Ra is infinite. Anirvachaniyam. Because there is a world is seen, snake is seen, I call rope as a substratum. The snake is disappearing, rope is substratum? No. Substratum to what? So very important point is coming now in 89th verse, next verse. So the world need not be real to play with, to act with, to participate in anything in the world. The world need not be real. Apekshate vyavahritirna prapanchasya vastutam नाप्यात्मजाड्यं किन्तु एषा साधनान्येव काङ्क्षति नाप्यात्मजाड्यं किन्त्वेषा साधनान्येव काङ्क्षति सी व्यवहृतिः प्रपञ्चस्य वस्तुतां न अपेक्षते द व्यवहृति व्यवहार participation in the world व्यवहृतिः in the world prapanchasya the participation in the world of made up of prapancha of the made panchamahabhutas of prapancha vastutam na apekshate the reality of the world is not necessary to participate in the world meaning world need not be real in order to participate, do our activities in the world. So participation in the world neither demands the world to be real, first point. So that means what? Like a dream. You are participating in a dream. Is the dream real? No. But you are going through all kinds of emotions in the dream. In the dream, of course, we are not awakened. We think that I am a dreamer and then I'm suffering the consequences of dream. But here in the case of Mahatma, awakened Mahatma, he knew that I am Brahman and he also knows that Jagat is Mithya. Both are established in him beyond doubt. Therefore, first point is what? To participate in the world. The world, world neither demand the world to be real, neither demands the world to be real, nor napi atma jadyam, not the atma to be inert. To participate in the jada prapancha, atma should be jada, then only it can participate. That is also not the rule. Or Jagat should be real, then only a real Atma can play in the world outside. That also is need not be there. World can be mithya, but still our activities can go on. But the worldly involvement, see what is that? Na api Atma jadyam, kintu esha sadhananyeva kankshati. So, the participation in the world neither demands the world to be real, nor the Atma to be inert. Unless Atma is inert, how can it participate in the inert Jagat, in the Jagat which is insentient? How can it participate? Which is very consciousness is contradicting, no? Quite opposite to Jada matter, no? Insentient. So how can that unless Atma is insentient, it cannot participate in the world. बराबर जब होता है ना, तब दोनों बराबर है, दोनों insentient है. ये भी जरूरी नहीं है. तो आत्मा इज कॉन्शियसनेस, कम से कम ये दुनिया को जगत को सच बनाओ तभी आत्मा कैन पार्टिसिपेट इन द वर्ल्ड, वो भी जरूरी नहीं है. सो जगत कैन कंटिन्यू टू बी मिथ्या, आत्मा ऑफ कोर्स इज ऑलवेज सत्यम. इवन देन in this case also, Atma, the consciousness being real, it can involve in the worldly activities which need not be real. The world need not be real. World can be mithya. Still, one can involve in the worldly activities through upadhi. Is again coming in the form in the gamut of the Maya field only. Sadhananyeva kankshati. What exactly to involve in this world? There is a means required. Mithya means only. What is that? Sharira, mana, buddhi. Sadhanani. Sharira, mana, buddhi is required to participate. So the question is, if a jnani knows that all the transactions of the world are mithya, but can he participate? That's the question. Vijnana says he can participate. There is no problem. We can go through all kinds of emotions in a mithya jagat, like movie. We know movie is not real. We know movie will end after 2.5 hours or 3 hours. And we go. We know it's a movie, not real. But still we spend money, go there, and go through all the emotions that are displayed on the screen. If I'm identifying with the hero and hero cries, I cry. Hero is happy, I am feeling happy. And the movie ended in a sorrow note, nobody likes it. In some movies, because of climax is not so good and encouraging or not an happy ending, whole movie failed. You कम से कम हीरो को क्यों मार दिया? हीरो नहीं मरना था उसमें. So डायरेक्टर ने मार दिया उनको हीरो को आखिरी में. That's a picture gone flop. But that's the picture only, no? Yet we go through all kinds of emotions. Knowing very well the movie is mithya. So Jnani also can go through the drama of life. There's no problem. So in this sloka 89th, sadhanani. What are the sadhanani? Not explained in next verse. What are sadhanani? Manovakaya tadbhahya padartha sadhanani tan tattvavinnopamudnati vyavaharosya no kutaha. Manovakaya tadbhahya padarthaha sadhanani tan sadhana. What are the means? These means are manaha, vak and kayam. To have a physical body is necessary. Mind is necessary. First, mind is necessary for completing all kinds of transactions in the world. Mind should be proper. Manaha. Second is what? Organ of speech. Vak is required to do vyavahara in this world. Your mind is not there. We can't have any transaction. If speech is not there, we cannot have any transaction. Body is not there. Absolutely, we cannot have any transaction in the world outside. And while performing, while Jnani, while involving in the worldly activities, he temporarily has very mithya abhimana with deha. He is identified with body, not like Ajnani, not like Upasaka. Jnani knows I am not the body, but I am wearing it like a mask. I know I am not the mask, but I am wearing a mask and moving in the world. So how does Jnani is? Because Jnani, in his own understanding, clearly with the help of his guru and the scriptures, Jnani, he became Purna Jnani, not Upasaka now. He understood, arrived at a conclusion that the world cannot be real, it is mithya. So no reality is attributed to the world. Very beautiful one. So next one, upamrudnati chittam chet dhyata saunatu tattvavit nabuddhim mardayan drushto ghata tattvasya vedita. Chittam Upamurdnati chet. Objection. What is that? Chittam, the mind, negates. That is what? If someone is, suppose, controlling and suspending the manovrittis. Chittam upamudnati chet. So somebody is controlling the mind. So he is involved in sadhana. Suppose somebody is practicing the control of mind, implies he is a sadhaka. He is a upasaka, but not tattvavit. He is not a knower of truth. Not a man of knowledge. Why? He is controlling his mind. Oh, Swamiji, then one who is not controlling the mind at all, like you and I, then we are tattvavit. No, we are ajnanis. Because in our case, our mind is dictating its terms to us, running here and there, no control. That is dangerous. And it is giving me, create a lot of problems. Ajnani mind. But Jnani need not control. Because he is established himself in Tattva. Who is controlling the mind? Upasaka. Seeker. I give you an example. There are some three-dimensional calendars are there. Three-dimensional calendars. In that calendar, though it is a two-dimensional only, but when you particularly look into it with little focus and concentration, you will discover a depth in it. It is a calendar only. You open it and then on the nail you put it, hang it on the nail. But it's a three-dimensional cap. When you look into it, you discover a third dimension. So in the beginning, it is very tough to discover it. The one who is able to see it, who practiced it before and is able to see it, whenever he wants, he can see the three dimension. He can see the depth of the picture also. Whenever he wants, he can see it. But one who is not practicing, one who had not practiced, and he was asked, focus, concentrate. And he has to bring all the focus, controlling all kinds of thoughts, in seeing it with full attention, the calendar, the image, this one design or image, whatever it is. That for him, because sadhaka, no, he has not got the knowledge of the three-dimensional calendar it is. For him, it is only two-dimensional. So he has to control his mind, increase his focus, concentration, and he looks into it, and then the teacher says, the teacher means the one who has already got used to see that three dimension whenever he wanted. He tells, no, देखो यार मिल जाएगा, बहुत सारे डेप्थ है, मैं देख पा रहा हूँ, तुम भी देख सकते हो. So he is a sadhaka. But suppose once he got the technique of seeing the calendar now, because of practicing focus, he understood, discovered technique. Little technique he got, and immediately he saw three-dimensional picture in that, with a depth in it. He's so excited. Wow, what an amazing movie it is. Picture it is. Thereafterwards, he need not concentrate, no? He can eat food and whenever he wanted, he can sit with a cup of coffee in the hand and look at the picture. He knows how to look at it. He just got into that kind of drishti. He knew that he had got developed the knack how to see it. That knack by seeing that knack by seeing in which way, he is able to discover the third dimension. Like that. So upamudranati chet, upamudranati chittam chet, dhyata. He is a meditator. Natu tattvavit. He is not a mover. The other man is who is able to see whenever he wanted, he can see. Meaning he never forgets. He says that na buddhim mardayan drushto ghatatattvasya vedata. See, once I know that it is a pot, right? That pot is nothing but essence of the pot is what? Mud. So the knower of the essence of the pot, once he knew that it is a mud, he is able to see that pot is made up of mud only. He is able to see it. Once he is able to see it, he need not control the mind every time, no, to see that mud. So whenever he wants, he can recall that jnanam. That's what he says. So Purvapakshi says he should maintain Aham Brahmasmi Jnanam Vritti all the time, even a jnani. Otherwise his knowledge may go. Therefore, Purvapakshi should he not withdraw from the world to protect himself all the time with the knowledge of Brahman. Otherwise he may lose himself in the worldly activities. He may not get moksha. Suppose he has to withdraw from the entire vyavahara involving in the world to maintain Brahmakara Vritti or Amramasmi Jnanam, not Vritti, Amramasmi Jnanam. That means he cannot involve in the worldly activities at all. On the contrary, Vidyarmuni said, the man of realization, a jnani, he can fully involve in the worldly activities. His knowledge is not contradicted. But Purvapakshi says, once a jnani is involved in vyavahara, he may lose the moksha sthiti. That means what? Whatever knowledge you have gained, you have to repeat it constantly to protect it. Pagal ho jaoge. Are we repeating all kinds of knowledge that we have gained in life? Are we repeating, suppose 2 plus 2 is equal to 4. Suppose, unless you repeat constantly 2 plus 2 is equal to 4, the jnana will go away. Then how many things we can repeat? That is not happening, no? Once I got the knowledge 2 plus 2 is equal to 4, that is remaining with me. Whenever that knowledge is required, I can recall it. So I am not maintaining any thoughts continuously for that knowledge. I can recover that knowledge whenever I want. Similarly, jnani also. Once you understand that it is a pot is made up of the mud, that knowledge he got. It's actually essence is mud only. Once he got that knowledge, he need not repeat it. Whenever he wanted, he can recall that knowledge. So therefore, even though the thought is not maintained, that pot is made up of mud, because he has got earlier knowledge. So whenever he wanted, without that vritti, knowledge is available. Vritti need not be maintained. But whenever he calls the knowledge, it expresses as vritti only, but he need not repeat it like upasaka. Because jnani, he has got awakened to that jnana sthiti. So very important here. So I'll stop here with 91st verse. 91 verses we have completed. So in the next month, we will see. We'll continue from 92nd sloka onwards. Thank you. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnmudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते। ओम शांति शांति शांति। हरि ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। हरि ओम सद्गुरुनाथ महाराज की जय। थैंक यू ऑल। हरि ओम।